Okay guys, so in last video we talked about the 4 factors which would influence our self-efficacy beliefs or determine our self-efficacy beliefs. One of these 4 factors is vicarious learning. So in this video, let's talk about this concept, vicarious learning. It refers to the fact that people can witness and observe a behavior conducted by other people, and then reproduce and acquire those actions. So I'm pretty sure that we are all engaged in this vicarious learning a lot in our daily life. Basically, you are actually copying what other people do, and this can help you acquire the knowledge and the action. This is very easy to understand. Let me give you one example of my husband. So my husband, he is really into car mechanics. Our first car is a very aged car, and it got a lot of problems. So today the engine is not working. Tomorrow the air conditioning has really sticky air coming out. But my husband, he loves this. He even got really excited whenever our first car got a problem, because he has the chance to fix it. But actually, he doesn't hold any certificate or degree in mechanics. How would fix those problems? Well, he is actually using this vicarious learning, and specifically, he was using YouTube, which provides him such a great platform or tutorials where he can observe what other people do given the same problem. And basically what he did in reality is to kind of learn and copy everything from those tutorials. So that's kind of one of the things we can get from this vicarious learning. It can help us obtain new knowledge and acquire new behaviors or actions. And research shows that this vicarious learning can also boost one's own self-efficacy beliefs. In other words, if you observe other people accomplish a task, this can help you build your own confidence to accomplish this similar task by yourself. Let's take a look at this experiment, and this experiment provided us some evidence or some proof about this really positive outcome of vicarious learning. Actually, this experiment was conducted by the same author of this theory, Bandura. And this paper was dealing with a phobia some people would hold, a natural phobia towards a snake, and I'm one of these people. So the basic idea of this paper was to see if we ask people with this snake phobia observe other people dealing with a snake, would this vicarious learning help them to conquer their natural fear or phobia towards snake? So the question the author asked in this paper was whether observing other people holding and playing with snakes can help people with snake phobia cope with their fear towards snake. So we can see that if observing other people holding and playing with snakes, this is actually a vicarious learning. And we want to see whether this vicarious learning can help people boost their self-efficacy and better cope with snake, or better cope with fear about snake. So in total, 48 snake-phobic patients participated in this study. I really admire their courage. These 48 patients, they were aged between 19 to 57 years old. So we can see that these results can be generalized to the whole population because they recruited people at different ages. Okay, so next let's take a look of their experiment design. So they have this pretest measurement, the intervention, which is they're gonna introduce the vicarious learning, and then they want to have a post-test measurement to make comparisons. So for their pretest measurement, they ask people to what extent do you fear snake? And probably their scale was ranging from 1 to 9, from not at all to extremely fearful. And then for their intervention, they actually have 4 groups. The first one is the vicarious learning. So they asked the participants in this group to observe similar patients handle the snakes. And second group is the participants were asked to observe psychologists handle the snakes, right? See the difference here? This one is they have the similar patients, but second one is a psychologist. And third one is a verbal message. So this verbal message, the basic of this verbal message is to verbally tell the patients that you can do it. They have trust in you and you can deal with this snake. And there is nothing to fearful. And last one is a control group. So patients in this group, they didn't receive any intervention, they didn't get exposed to anything. So after these 48 participants took this pretest measurement, they were randomly assigned into 4 groups, and each group would receive this intervention. And after this intervention, the 48 participants, they were measured again for their fear about the snake, and also they were also asked about their self-efficacy. To what extent do you believe that you can cope with a snake? So this is kind of the design of this experiment. Let's take a look at the results. So let's take a look at the results. First, these first 2 groups. Both of these 2 groups are observing other people deal with a snake. The difference is the first group was observing similar patients, similar people with a snake-phobic patient handle the snakes. And second one is a psychologist handle the snake. And both of these 2 groups showed similar results. So patients assigned to these 2 groups, they experienced a reduction or decrease in their fear towards the snake. In other words, after they observed other people handle a snake, they didn't feel that much fear about a snake. And let's take a look of these 3rd and 4th groups. So basically, if they received a verbal message or they didn't get exposed to any stimuli, well, their fear didn't decrease or increase and remained at the same level. So it seems that this observation of other people dealing with a snake can help people deal with or cope with their fear about snake. And let's take a look of this comparison between these 2 observation groups. Remember, the patients were also asked about to assess their self-efficacy beliefs. And we can see that people observing similar patients handle the snake did report a higher level of self-efficacy compared with patient observing a psychologist handle the snake. So we can see that this is a really strong evidence showing that if we observe people similar with us accomplish a certain task, and this can help us deal with, boost our self-efficacy, build up our confidence to accomplish a similar task. So if you want to link the results back to our everyday life, well, if you see your friend get a good grade or did a fabulous job in internship for a project, this can help you boost your confidence or self-efficacy to accomplish a similar task. So we've talked about this self-efficacy, and we'll talk about this vicarious learning or observation. And the main idea is this vicarious learning can increase people's efficacy, self-efficacy. So next time when you have a difficult project or a high goal to achieve, and you feel like there are lots of difficulties to expect, Well, a wise move or a nice thing to get started with is to go out and observe people accomplish the same task. And this can increase your self-efficacy and build your self-confidence. The second finding from this experiment is vicarious learning from similar source is more effective than that from a dissimilar source. So again, if you want to observe to do this vicarious learning, try to find someone at the same level or similar level with you, and this can maximize your self-efficacy beliefs. Okay, that is the first factor in this triangle model. So I have the second question for this week's submission here for you guys. So in the thread, I'm gonna post a link to a scene in the movie Kung Fu Panda. And this is a training scene for a really funny training scene for Kung Fu Panda. So I want you guys to identify as many as sources of self-efficacy we've discussed in this video and in last video. And also please elaborate on these sources identified by you. So I hope you guys enjoy this activity, and then we're going to talk about the second factor of this model.